Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second: surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. And it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we have to face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? Well, Nikita Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we're retreating under the pressure of the Cold War, and someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead, or as one commentator put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire the shot heard round the world? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance. Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn they're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of men on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Logbook Podcast. I'm Dakota, and with us tonight is Chad Candy and Mama Sally. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh,
Great,
pretty good.
how
I
are
had to go get
you?
it's getting cold here, man. I had to go get my jacket on real quick.
Oh yeah, no, the weather out here is awful. Here it's like the hardest rain we've had all year, but that's not saying a lot. But
Well, it's getting below 70 here right now, so I had to go get my jacket.
Poor baby, poor you.
Yeah.
Chad. Below 70
We actually had a
degrees.
lot of rain last night. We had like an inch and a half of rain last night in like 4 hours, 3 hours. So
I'll take the rain over the ice and snow any day.
Absolutely.
Oh, me too. Me
All right.
too.
All right, we got Don Corleone in the chat room. John Corleone, what do you got to share with everybody today? What is that? Have no fear, the Godfather is here. I have shared this out. Thanks, Don, for sharing out our post. We really appreciate it. Sharing out our show. Don has been with us for quite a bit now, hasn't he? I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Great follower. We're glad
You
to
had a
have
show
you.
right before this one. So.
Yeah, right on, Don. Thanks for joining in. Well, back to it. Part 2 of our month at Eagle Pass. Sorry, Kimberly can't be here tonight. I know she's the real reason. I mean, with this face, who needs enemies, right? So, but
We'll suffer through, sir.
all right,
Yeah.
that's great. True friends here. All right. So, tell you what, let's get right into it. I know last time we were at the show. Last show we did, we were talking about the ambulances that were coming in and out of Eagle Pass or coming across the border, and I think that's where we left off. But yeah, just ambulances coming right across the border, no checks, no nothing. They just come right across. We didn't see it go to any hospital or anything like that. And so
Yep.
these illegals are coming over here getting treated on our tax dollars, by the way. And that's just, I'm already
It's
already
appalling.
on it.
It's
It
appalling.
is absolutely appalling. So,
Hi, Miss Ruth. How you doing?
hey Ruth, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining in. I just found out from Chad today that you were from Michigan. I'm sorry, I thought you were in Texas, but you're with all these. Anytime a
Miss
woman
Ruth
is
is our dearly beloved Michigan lady. She is just absolutely awesome.
right on, and yeah, the way as opinionated and outspoken as Ruth is, I thought she was from Texas. So,
Oh, those
No, she sends me
Michiganders are opinionated.
she
say
sends
again.
me her frozen pics from up there. So
Yeah.
Right on. And who is this? Who do we have here?
that's just
What's up, Don?
Dion.
You
He
want to
was he
join
was
in
fixing
tonight?
to he was uploading the disclaimer for our shows.
Oh,
So
okay.
just a disclaimer instead of the intro attached. So you're
Okay.
gonna have to
All
put
right.
disclaimers up because
All right. Well, we'll get your
Love you
face out
too,
of the
Miss
show.
Ruth.
There's only room for one ugly person in here. Thanks for joining, Chad. So,
yeah, no
anyway.
problem, man. I got it. I thought you liked it my haircut though, or
Yeah,
Kimberly.
I know. It looks good. It looks good,
Your
man. It
woman
really
liked my
does.
haircut.
That's true. She did. Yeah. Well, my Kim or your Kim. Who knows? Who knows?
My
All
Kim
right.
didn't
So
care.
I think where we wanted to pick up was we did check out the Del Rio area as well, the border along there. And let's go ahead and pull this up.
Hey, is it
Sorry,
okay if we go ahead and play the disclaimer real
yeah,
quick?
go ahead and play that.
It's a minute long, so here we go, everybody. Before we get in trouble on YouTube or Facebook.
Warning. Title
Yeah.
17 U.S. Code 512F provides penalties for the deliberate misrepresentation of copyright infringement. The owners and authors of this video, the common denominator, and the Paramystic Broadcast Channel are a nonprofit 501c3 exempt organization and believes in good faith that it constitutes educational fair use, as per Title 17 U.S.C. 107. Persons, agencies, attorneys, and or social media algorithms filing a false or frivolous Digital Millennium Copyright Act complaint may be subject to civil liability. Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Accordingly, viewer discretion is advised.
All right.
Fantastic. Thanks, Don. Thanks for getting that in there. Yeah, we couldn't
Awesome.
find it anywhere. We had trouble getting that up. But yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate you, Don.
he was jumping in to upload it so that it didn't have an intro attached to it. So
Okay.
yeah, that was him jumping in just to help out some with the disclaimer. So Facebook doesn't get upset about showing the truth.
Yeah, it seems like they're the only ones who do.
Sure, YouTube
right.
does too, but
I don't get anything off of them.
All right. So back to it. We're going to show you, we're going to jump right into Del Rio and we're going to show you what we found there. So go ahead and open this up.
Roll that beautiful beam footage, sir.
There we go.
You can tell the fence here.
Sorry about the audio on that. It's a
And
little
there's
splotchy.
border wall.
But this is the this is actual border fence that's around Del Rio, Texas, just 40 minutes north of Eagle Pass. So we have all this loose fence here, and I'm telling you, loose. Like there is gaps everywhere. If somebody really wants to get through, they can. But if they don't, the thing is, if they don't want to, hurt themselves or anything like that, they just go all the way to the end, about an eighth of a mile, all the way to the end of there, and it just goes to some bushes. That's it, and it just stops right there. So they just traverse through bushes, and they get around the fence that way. And if you look on the other side, on the Mexico side of the fence, there's actually right at the end of there's places where cars and trucks back up right to that spot where people can come through.
Just come through.
The grass has been worn out by car and truck tires.
I believe
drop
that.
people off.
So is that
Well,
the fence on one side and the border wall on the other side?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that whole let's see if I can bring that up again. And so yeah, we'll fast
got the fence
forward.
on the left and then the
Right.
border wall over on the right.
Right.
But there's pieces of the border wall missing, like right there.
Yeah, so this whole thing is just supposed to be a deterrent. So once they get across, it's actually
Uh-oh.
so the thing
You
is
broke up there a
no
little
one
bit.
can get through there. Oh, what I was saying is that the actual border wall that Abbott built up, it's actually really well built. It's sturdy. The spaces between the steel, there's no one getting through there. But the thing is, it's just meant to be a deterrent. So if anyone crosses at the very end, they have to run along that entire border wall, and it gives Border Patrol a chance to catch anybody that comes through on the other side. But as you saw in the video, there's no one there.
Well,
There is
yeah.
no Border Patrol there
Well,
whatsoever.
I noticed when I was coming through Dallas this morning on the way back, there was 26 buses and all their drivers getting ready to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ruth, by the way, Kimberly is not feeling well, so it is just me at the time. I'm sorry about that. She loves talking to you. She loves talking to Sally and Chad, but just not feeling under the weather today.
Well, that's
But
okay.
yeah,
We all need a down day.
mm-hmm.
It's full
as
moon.
far as far as those buses, what do the buses look like? Are they just plain
They're
white?
big black charter buses. I mean,
They're
these are jet black,
jet black charter buses. So like
no
no
markings.
nomenclatures, no markings. Yeah, that's normally those are buses that are heading their way to the border to go pick up illegals
Yeah.
and take them wherever they're going on the other way.
Well,
I
when
when
I
I was
was when I was down
there,
there quite a bit when I was running over the road, I would see the black buses at night picking people up and the white buses during the daytime picking people up.
yeah, we see that a lot too.
That's
We only
that's
see
crazy.
we're only able to see the white buses during the day, like the black buses. We always seem to miss those. Every once in a while, you see one, but most of the
Oh
time, it's the
yeah.
white buses. And you go down to that port of entry that we showed last show, where everybody's lined up. It is amazingly well coordinated. Just the logistics needed in that shit is insane
Yep.
because you have people walk across, people go through the tents to get checked in, then they go wait, and then they finish the processing, and as soon as they're finished processing, a bus coming around to pick them up. You can watch, like on a good day, you can watch 50 people cross the border, get processed, and get in about half an hour.
Well, those buses hold up to about 79 or 80 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an extremely slow day on the
Yeah.
border, and then they have 2,000 people that come through in a single night, and they're gone by the next afternoon.
Yeah,
So,
they
I
process
mean,
them quite quickly.
extremely well coordinated effort on getting migrants through the port of entry and then out to the rest of the U.S.
Yep.
It is absolutely crazy that this can happen. So let's see. But yeah, more on the Del Rio side. So we were actually able to get into an actual migrant resource center.
Cool.
Yeah, we weren't able to take video, of course, because as soon as we have cameras out, they're going to be shoving us out. But
We
we
Yeah.
got to
came
get
in
y'all
there.
some special glasses with cameras in them.
Yeah, the Google Glass and everything like that. There's too expensive. So, but the thing is, being secretive is kind of against our nature at this point, because we don't want to we want to be as transparent as possible. We want to show that, hey, we're just really concerned of what's going on here, and we want to know. We shouldn't have to be secretive
Well,
to
from what
know
I've
this
seen,
information.
from what I've seen, they won't let people with cameras in pretty much any place that's housing migrants. Like even like up in New York on podcasts I've seen, if you have a camera or even if you're not supposed to be there, they'll kick you out right away. Like within seconds, they'll kick your butt right out of that hotel if they even let you pass the door.
Right, and even with that video we started the show off last week with Tucker, majority of these people,
Yeah,
we're finding that
yeah,
some of these people are rent-a-cops that
Yeah.
have really no authority. Not so at San Antonio. That's San Antonio PD running the Migrant Resource Center over there, so they have complete authority to arrest you.
yeah. I sent you another video. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, and it was them bashing SAPD for doing the same thing pretty much. And it was like they were working on off time at the migrant camps and pretty much not doing anything but chasing off the people asking questions.
That and the thing is, we weren't able to actually get into that MRC, that Migrant Resource Center. We were able to stay in the parking lot next door, just right across the street, and we showed that last show with all the Romeos and all the people getting trafficked out there in that public parking lot after they leave the MRC. As far as getting into that one, no shot at that. One in Del Rio, we actually were able to come in because we came with donations. Okay, we were donating blankets and water for women and children, and just trying to do our part because we have to keep in mind that yes, these people are coming over illegally, but they are people too. I don't want them to die. I want them to go home. I want them to go home.
Yeah, we just want them to go back and fix their own country.
Right.
You know, I get it that they're looking for a better way of life. And, you know, we want a better way of life. But it's like I told the girl from Zimbabwe, it's just welcome to our nightmare. It's
right.
Not really much better.
Thing is, what I don't understand, if the government really wanted to help these people out, then why are we just letting all these young men cross over? Why can't we train these young men to go back and take their country back?
Well, they can't even train
because
young men
the
here.
Last time they did that, we wound up with a militaristic cartel in Mexico.
That's true. We did. But the thing is, there's these people coming over that are just sick and tired of the cartels. So you think it'd just be a transfer of power where they just take it from the cartel and keep it for themselves? And yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying, that men's hearts are easily corrupted. So it's
I talked to two Pakistanians that was working on one of the docks last night at the store, and they came over here just so they could get away from being forced into a military situation.
Because they might end up with one here too. So
yeah. All right.
Well, over there they don't really have a choice, because if they don't go in,
conscription.
Yeah, their families will be slaughtered.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that used to be slaughtered. No.
Go
ahead.
They'll kill their entire family if they don't do it. So they have no choice but to leave.
Right. And there's tons of people there. You'll hear tons of stories like that when you go down there.
Oh yeah.
Again, last show talked about 4 boys whose parents were killed by the cartels, and they stuck together, and then they ended up getting conscripted by the cartels over here on our side.
Yeah.
And again, you can't afford morals when you're hungry.
Well, more and more, I'm finding out the cartels actually run the damn border wall, not our border security.
No, that's. I mean, you're absolutely right on that. They don't. They run it on from their side. So the thing is, these people that are trying to come across, they have to pay the cartels to get them across. All right, and they're not going to go. without paying them. They'll shoot them dead and leave them in the desert
Oh
before they
yeah.
let them cross over here without paying. So where's that humanitarian effort from us? Huh? Where is that? But yeah, back to Del Rio. When I did go into this MRC, I mean, you saw what you would typically expect to see. Women, children, some young men trying to get food and water for the next leg of their journey. And but also, what you find out there is you find a ton of people, or I say few. Actually, I shouldn't say a ton. I should say a few people uh, wearing ankle monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, just people who are on house arrest, who are just going to these MRCs and taking these resources for themselves. They're U.S. citizens. They've already been to court. They've already been criminalized and put into the system. And now they're just taking stuff that we're telling people that are allotted for illegal immigrants, for migrants, to help with humanitarian efforts, which has got people, mad enough as it is. Now we find out that some of those resources are going to criminals, like actual U.S. petty criminals over on our
Well, a
side.
lot of them are living in tent colonies out there.
Right. And thing is, how can you be on house arrest if you don't have a house? It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's $1 million question.
But yeah, but after walking inside, the people that are actually running the MRCs that are facilitating it, they are so short staffed they cannot keep an eye on everybody. They have everybody in another room processing paperwork. Okay, where the rest of them, they just get put into an area to wait on a bus, and they're just it's just kind of a free for all that's in there, and who knows what's going to happen. You have these fighting age males around all these women with children. Anybody can walk in. I walked in super easily. What's stopping a Romeo or a cartel leader from going in and taking those children and those women and putting them into sex labor?
Well, maybe that's how 115,000 children have come up missing.
Because
Yeah.
there's no one monitoring this.
Or even worse, with the stuff you were talking about last week, with the baby not allowed in because the baby was born in America. So how many of those have gone missing?
Yeah.
They're not even counted.
Because that was picked up. I mean, it was within a matter of moments. As soon as that woman got out of that MRC, she was targeted and harassed and trying to get to safety. Luckily, we were able to help out, and we got that woman and her children away from those Romeos and save that child from being trafficked. So we're really happy about that.
You see, I wonder all the time when I get these Amber Alerts if this is part of them recycling children.
Amber. It could be. That's a theory. I mean, something that you could look into, something that anybody could look into, and I would. That is.
A lot of it, maybe a holiday and a disgruntled parent or something like that. But I always have to wonder because of our current situation whether or not it's cartels that are snagging children to take them and to help bring these adult men across. I mean, everybody has to wonder about that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
especially when you have so many Amber Alerts going off in one certain area.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing, it's 3 to 5 a week in the Houston area, and that's just within my general vicinity of Houston. That's not the total, Houston area.
In San Antonio, I got 4 within 20 minutes.
Wow. We don't get near that many here in Florida. We get more silver alerts than we do Amber Alerts. But
yeah, we're getting a lot more silver alerts in Texas. I promise you.
What'd you say, Dakota?
That makes sense, Chad.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. But I mean,
bunch of retired Jews forgot where their retirement home is.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yeah. Oh man, but
There's a good one.
so here,
It's exhausting. How exhausting is this for our military and our military families and the towns where the illegals are coming into?
that's
You got to know that, these people are trying to keep themselves safe. But because there's so many people coming in and the cartels are bringing them in, they're forcing their way into homes and they're robbing them. There
yeah,
is a huge mass exodus of people and residents from those areas along the border to get away from it because they can get killed.
oh yeah,
Nothing's safe.
drive along through Eagle Pass and Kamado, you'll find uh, the homes that are actually there that still have people in them, bars in the windows, high fencing all around them. They look like compounds, and the security lighting they
Yep.
have, their yard is lit up 24/7, and
Yeah.
to deter people. And I wanted to touch on this comment that Don made. It's like some are escaping for the right reasons. However, do it properly because anyone can pose a security risk. Yeah, there are some people escaping for the right reason. I think I mentioned last show, there was a family from Venezuela who had been on the run from socialism for 6 years. They moved to Ecuador, they moved to Chile before they came here to the U.S. And the U.S. was their last chance. They didn't want to be here. They wanted to be in South America with their families and their culture and their language. They don't want to be here, but this is the last chance they have to actually build a life for themselves and actually not just survive but prosper. Okay,
And and
and the thing,
sadly, and sadly, we're losing our freedoms every day.
mm-hmm, yes, we are. And the thing is, doing it properly, um, they can't do it properly because they have to get a visa from their home government. So you think they're going to go back to Venezuela for a chance at properly getting a visa? No,
No.
there's no chance. The only way they have to come across is legally
Yeah.
and seek asylum. And here's the thing, me personally, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a
If you're
problem.
running from true evil, yeah,
Yeah,
come on. But you
yeah.
know what? Some of these folks need to stay where they're at and stand up and fight for their country.
Hmm.
They do. I'm sorry.
I mean,
We had to fight for our freedom. We had to fight for our country. We're fighting for everybody's
if you don't
country.
have a means to defend yourself, then yes, by all means, come here. But if you're 24, 25 years old, and I get it, you have a family, send your family here. Okay, you need to stay and fight. You need to
Yeah.
stay and make your country a better place. Somebody has to, or else it's never going to get fixed.
Well,
It's just
that's
going to
what
leach its way back to you. It's going to follow you.
it there some of the countries are starting to fight back the way they need to.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yes, they
already
are.
seeing that.
But yeah, let's continue on with Del Rio. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. But here we go. I'm going to bring up some photos here for you guys. I'm going to share the screen here. And photos. Oh, it didn't share. Hold on.
Gotta love technology.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't.
there we go. And here we go. So this is at a place called Sycamore Creek. It's right at the Valverde County line, right in between Eagle Pass and Del Rio. So this is basically just a road bridge that you drive over. Has a nice little scenic driveway that goes down where you can go and sightsee and see like the dried up riverbed and everything. Go on hike. There's picnic areas and stuff like that. It was meant to be really welcoming for families, and I don't know if you can see that all too well. It's kind of the same color as the stones right next to the shoe there. That is a pair of little girl's underwear. That's right there.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That
So
is
this is actually a drop site that we found out in between Del Rio and Eagle and Camado.
Hey, Miss Kimberly Gillard.
Hey, Kimberly.
Now you see this. This is really interesting here. So this is a rock drawing here, and what you see right here, you see a father, and you see a mother, and you see a small child right there next to this little kid's jewel that a child had time to sit there and make while they were waiting to get picked up. And the fact is that they had upwards of 30 minutes to an hour to find all the right materials to sit here and think of and make this while they were waiting to get picked up out in the middle of nowhere.
And Mom and Dad probably helped them make it because they're doing anything they can to keep these children quiet.
Right.
I can imagine.
Moving on. Another photo of that. And you can find all this food debris, water bottles, food wrappers, tons of beer cans and beer bottles.
Somehow or another, that doesn't really surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Me either.
Yeah, basically these cartel guys that are just waiting to traffic these people are sitting there waiting. They're just drinking Michelob and Modelo the entire time. Oh yeah, so this is a bingo marker. Excuse me. So this is what they're using to actually mark the skin of these children and these families.
A bingo marker, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually kind of smart because it washes off really easily, and it's less permanent than a tattoo. Whenever you're doing a quick transfer to their final destination.
Wow.
Yeah. See what? Oh yeah, this was a fire that was built right at the base of these rocks here, so people had time to build fire, and they needed a fire to keep warm for a lengthy period of time. So, who knows how long they were waiting, and all through the night, these people were waiting, freezing, starving, and just right off a major highway. The fire was built just right there, and you only had to look down. And apparently,
see, there's stuff like this that I see all the time going down the interstates.
Yeah, and thing is,
and back roads.
This is patrolled this is watched by Border Patrol and Highway Patrol. This highway is heavily traversed by authorities, and they don't have. They just happen to miss this. These people were obviously here for quite a while, and no one was patrolling it. So you have more drink cans, garbage of sorts. There's that's a girl's sock that's there. Tons of clothes, underwear, socks. And that's really all you find. You find underwear and socks. Like you don't find shorts or shirts, or every once in a while you'll find a pair of shoes. But yeah, just undergarments is mostly what you find. More beer bottles, beer cans. This was a set of restraints that had been cut, and if you held them upright, I don't have a photo of those being held upright, but they were bindings, and they were just big enough to fit around, say, maybe an 8 or a 9-year-old's wrist.
Wow,
that's just sad, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey. What was Don saying here? Sorry, wasn't paying attention here. Using this stuff like this for Mark. Yeah, I just said that. Sorry, I might have answered your question.
Well, he was talking about with the rocks and with the panties and stuff like that. Like he was asking that when we first started talking about all the stuff being found.
Okay, so as far as markers, it's quite possible that they're using to mark that site, but no, the site is marked larger than life, and I'll show you that here in a moment. once we get to the end of these photos here. See another pair of boys' underwear. It's right there. And we're gonna keep going through. This is just food, beer bottles, clothing, more underwear. This is just a bag of dead fish. I'm not sure what the hell that's doing there, but it looks like it could have been. They could have been using this to feed these people.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Then, so when I tell you that the area was marked just larger than life, this is what I'm talking about here. So just graffiti everywhere. This is the supports for the bridge at the bottom of it where we were walking around at, and this graffiti spans about 20 feet wide and 15, 20 feet tall. So it's not like it's seclusive anymore. It's extremely overt. You just have to know where to look. So here you have what you see here clearly printed out is Panteoneros, and translated that means pantheon. All right, the pantheon is what a cemetery is called in Mexico.
Mm.
Wow.
It have double meaning as well to that, because the pantheon and days of human sacrifice, that's where they were committed. But yeah,
Kind
it's
of makes you wonder what the hell's going on right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just this huge marking graffiti that's all over these sites. And then, we were trying to figure out what this was up here, this kind of scribble, like traditional graffiti chicken scratch that's up there. We couldn't make heads or tails of it. Moving on. Oh, yeah. So this, again, that's an old photo. That's a Border Patrol moving the concertina wire out of the way for people to cross.
Or the Patreon Rome, where the fall of Rome started. This is true.
Mm-hmm. Or the Pantheon Rome where the fall of. Yep, absolutely, Don. That's quite possible. But yeah, it's just the stuff that you find here, just like it tears you down to your soul. And the thing is, we just stopped here, just have a little bit of fun to lighten the mood and everything, because we had just been at Del Rio, and Kim and a friend of ours, Lucy, we just want to stop off and look for geodes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Just on these old dry riverbeds. It's where you find them. And
I found them kayaking down the spring before. So,
and we have and that's what we found there. And I was so scared because we had Beatrice there with us. So it was like I walked up to follow them, and I found that first set of underwear, and I said nope. Took her and put her back in the truck, and I stood by there while Kim and Lucy were trying to find geodes, and I was yelling for them, yelling for them.
Yeah,
Get their butts back.
geodes are not that important.
No,
right?
No, they're not. But the wind was so fast and so loud that my voice couldn't carry. It has trouble carrying as it is. So, oh man. But no, that was an experience. But all y'all out there watching today, if you don't take my word for it, there's a chance you can come down here and see it for yourself and be in a large group of people and be safe about it. So what we want you to do is we want you to go to takeourborderback.com. And what this is a website that is organizing a convoy down to the Eagle Pass area. And it's actually being put on by none other than Lieutenant Colonel Pete Chambers. He was on one of our very first shows. He's a great guy. former Green Beret,
Yep.
and really taking on this border case uh, just full force, no
Yeah,
stopping
seems
them.
like it.
So I just want to share the website here with you guys. So there we go.
And y'all, you do
Yeah,
need to get involved. You need to know what's going on. That's why we do these shows.
absolutely. And the thing, you go to takeourborderback.com. This is the website that is going to take you to. You can become a supporter or a sponsor over here, and you can also check out all the maps and the routes that we're gonna be taking to go all the way across the border. So I believe it starts in the first meeting point is in Eagle Pass, Texas, on February the 3rd, and then it's going through Yuma, Arizona, and then going all the way to San Ysidro, California.
That should be interesting.
Oh yeah, and so it's starting off. The convoy is actually starting off here in what is that, North Carolina? Yeah,
Virginia,
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 actually,
North.
yeah, Virginia. So wherever you live along this route here, if you live anywhere, you can join in on the convoy very easily.
And you don't have to go all the way through to the very end. There
No,
will
you
be
don't.
people who are going to do that, but let's just
Yeah,
face it, fuel is too damn expensive, and most of us
Absolutely.
don't have enough time to get off to do this.
Hmm.
right.
But come out and wave a flag on an overpass or something on these routes. Show these people that you are supporting them for standing up for us.
Thank you,
Very
Miss
much
Sally.
so.
Absolutely. Because yeah, if you want to, this is just the stop. This is the route all the way to Eagle Pass, Texas, and it continues on from Eagle Pass all the way to Yuma and then to San Ysidro. I know Yuma has. I know Arizona itself has taken some really big measures in
Oh
with their
yeah.
border policy. They have been for a couple of years. However, they're going to be met with a lot of opposition when it comes to San Ysidro because it is just a revolving door as soon as they get there. You know,
I bet
people.
so.
Oh yeah, man. San Ysidro is a 15-minute drive from uh, Naval Base San Diego, 32nd Street, where I was stationed at, and you
I've
can see,
delivered there.
yeah, and they've they
They have
just
a
have.
water bottling facility close to
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh wow. Okay. That's real convenient. Just to have a water bottling facility next to where a bunch of illegals are coming through. I mean,
It's been there for over 25 years, sir.
oh wow. Wow.
That's how long it's been since I've been out there, but I remember being out there. I was real concerned. Am I in Mexico or am I in California?
That's what it's like in Eagle Pass. You don't know if you're in Mexico or not because
Yeah, right.
yeah,
There's no line.
yeah, the city across the actual border, Piedras Negras, looks exactly the same as Eagle Pass. You have no idea where one starts and the other begins.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, they've lost all their identity as Americans in Eagle Pass, and then but at least Del Rio has retained some of their identity.
Now
And
even in Laredo, when you go down there and you're going to these swapping stations where you offload your freight and they put it on a Mexican truck to go south, you have Border Patrol right there saying, "Nope, nope, nope, right there's the line. Got to go back."
oh wow,
Yeah, I mean,
And if you're lost, they'll tell you where you need to go.
but here's the thing: they'll tell you where you need to go,
Yeah.
and they'll tell you to follow the rules, and that you can't cross this line right here.
Oh yeah, but
But
the
everybody
Mexican
else,
trucks are coming into the states right to that switching station and going right back, and that's why they're there.
hmm. But the thing is, they can tell you to follow the rules, but everyone else on the other side of the border, they don't have to do shit.
yeah,
That's right.
pretty much.
But no, like you can go to San Ysidro, you can see thousands of them coming and going back and forth all day long. and
Yep.
and you know they a majority of them are working in our naval shipyards.
Oh yeah.
So our military is being maintained by a Mexican labor force.
Doesn't
Which
surprise me
is
at all.
pretty much why they're bringing all these people into the states so that they can cut the cost of labor. And these people that are coming across don't mind living 8 or 10 people in a dwelling.
No.
That's the way they live in their own countries.
Yep. I mean,
Whereas we as Americans, we like our space.
Yes, we do, especially in Texas.
And
That's why Texas is so big.
yeah,
So no one bothers us.
right.
until
Texas is
now.
what you call an open concept. So
Yeah, well, they're trying to fill that open concept up.
well, well, I think that's about all I have for this evening. Uh, thank you all for joining us tonight. Go to takeourbordersback.com. Check out the convoy. Donate if you can. Join the convoy if you can. If not, find out where the convoy is coming out through your town. Show some support.
That's right.
Also, want to bring it up. If you're tired of all these legacy news outlets telling you what to think and how you should think it, go get your free trial with Epoch Times using epochpartner.com/DML. You can go there, start your free trial, sign up for your subscription, get the news delivered to you with no bias, no feelings, just straight facts, and you can make decision on your own, like we're supposed
That's
to
where I
as
get my news
Americans.
from.
Fantastic, Mama Sally. Right on. Well, thank you all very much. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
You
you
all
for
have a good.
having us.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
thanks for joining. No, I really appreciate it. Well, good night, y'all. You have a good one.
Good night. Have a good one, everybody.
Good night.